When Samsung announced the Galaxy Z Fold 3, Z Flip 3, Galaxy Watch 4 series, and also the Galaxy Buds 2, they also announced this little gadget here. Well, I wouldn't say little, it's actually quite big. The S Pen Pro. This was actually announced early in the year when the Galaxy S21 series was announced. They just said that the S Pen Pro will be coming later this year, and
the S Pen Pro will be available later this year.
Now is later that year, I guess. So who should actually buy the S Pen Pro and why? Let's talk about it in this video. So the S Pen Pro is a separate purchase. It is not bundled with any other cases or products that you're gonna purchase from Samsung. So this is entirely optional. But if you're watching this video, then I think you already know what the S Pen Pro is about, or maybe just curious to find out the full details. Now we'll start off by talking about why the S Pen Pro exists. Well, I can think of two reasons actually. Number one is to aggregate all of your S Pens together. So for me personally, I actually have two different devices that are using the S Pen. So this is the S Pen Fold Edition, and then this is the S Pen for the Galaxy Tab S7 FE that I got here. These two S Pens can be replaced by just this one S Pen Pro, and yeah, it's that simple. So I don't have to mess around with the different shape and size, and also different tips and the different button position on each of the variations of S Pen. So having just one S Pen that is consistent across all of the other devices is certainly a valid reason to why you want to buy this pen. The second reason you want to buy the S Pen Pro is for the Air Commands feature. Well, remember that when we said the Galaxy Note 9 series had something called the Magic Wand feature? That is called Air Actions, and you can just hold this button here, do some gestures, and then the phone will respond to the gesture and perform some task for you, or action or shortcuts. That feature can now be brought into every single devices that can be connected to the S Pen Pro, and that also includes the Galaxy Tab S7 FE, which comes with a passive S Pen, and also the Galaxy Z Fold 3, which also uses a passive S Pen. So yeah, I can now use this feature with all of my other devices. The one that I'm most excited about is the Galaxy Z Fold 3 in this kind of flex mode with the camera pointing at some angle. Then I can just press this S Pen's button to trigger the shutter, which is really nice. But to use Air Actions, we do need to charge the S Pen Pro. So if you take a look at this top of the pen here, you can actually open it up, and then it reveals a USB Type-C port that you will need to plug it in and charge. Unfortunately, there's no wireless charging, and yes, I have tried. Now let's talk about the shape of the S Pen Pro. This is actually thicker and girthier than any other S Pens that I've tried, and it is so thick that I think it's even girthier than the Pilot G2 that I personally preferred. Yes, that is in past tense because I currently don't use any ink pens at all. The most that I've used is S Pens. However, carrying the S Pen Pro might be an issue because this pen is not compatible with any cases at all. So you will have to just stuff it in your bag, and hopefully you don't bury it under some other stuff in your bag. Because as you know, the Galaxy Z Fold 3, the Fold Edition's S Pen, comes with this case that you can actually slot it in by the sides so that you can carry it along with the Galaxy Z Fold 3 with just one case like this. I mean, the pen wouldn't suddenly drop out and you lose it, or maybe just get lost in your bag with all of your other stuff. But the S Pen Pro doesn't have this luxury. It's also longer than the Galaxy Z Fold 3, so if you find any other cases that can fit into the case, it will be a lot more awkward to carry around because of this part. Yeah, it's just a lot longer than the Z Fold 3. There's also no magnet on the S Pen Pro, so you cannot snap it at the back of the Tab S7 FE. So yeah, you will definitely need somewhere to carry this pen with you without getting lost. And oh, I should also mention that the S Pen Pro can now be linked with SmartThings Find. So if I ever lose the S Pen Pro, I can use SmartThings to locate this pen. The S Pen Pro also comes with the same tip as the S Pen Fold Edition. They have a slightly bulbous squishy tip, and it also has an internal spring just like the S Pen Fold Edition. Yes, I can finally make the spring go inside by just forcefully pushing the tip inside. The S Pen Pro also comes with a 2-button rocker. Now, this notch button here is actually functioning like any other S Pen with its single button. So when you're drawing, you can hold this button here, use it like an eraser. So that feature is also the same with the S Pen Pro. But this other button here is the connection button. Now you can hold this button for 3 seconds, and then it will make the S Pen Pro go into pairing mode, and your nearby Galaxy device will have a prompt asking if you want to connect. Now I was actually thinking that if I want to use the S Pen Pro connected to the Galaxy Z Fold 3, do I need to enter pairing mode again and then start the whole process again just to pair it with the Galaxy Tab S7 FE? Actually no, but it's also not that seamless. There are actually 2 factors contributing to this not so seamless transition. Firstly is the wireless connectivity. So if you have different devices, like for my example here, I got the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and also the Galaxy Tab S7 FE that I want to use the S Pen Pro with, I will have to log in my Samsung account to both of these devices, and then I can press this connect button once and it will ask me if I want to pair it with this device. So if I just press connect, I have to wait a few seconds, and then yeah, that's done. So now I can use this kind of gestures. Yeah. And then if I want to switch back to the Galaxy Z Fold 3, I need to press the connect button again. Then it will ask me if I want to connect. I will have to press the button again, wait for another few seconds for it to connect to this phone. It's not that seamless and there's a lot of waiting involved, so yeah. I just wish that the connectivity is a bit more seamless, maybe automatic connection transition when the device detects the S Pen Pro. For example, if currently the S Pen Pro is connected to the Galaxy Z Fold 3, I can just move it close to the Galaxy Tab S7 FE and then it transitions the connection here, so I don't have to go through that whole pairing thing again, like this one. Yeah, I also have to wait for a few seconds for this thing to pop up. Hey. The second factor that contributed to this not so seamless transition is the toggle. You see this thing at the top here? Yeah, this little switch here is actually to toggle between the Z Fold mode and also the S Pen mode. For my case here, I will have to toggle it to S Pen mode to use it with the Galaxy Tab S7 FE, and then change it to Z Fold mode to use it with the Galaxy Z Fold 3. With that said though, for my use case, I will probably only use the Air Actions with the Galaxy Z Fold 3, so I will leave it permanently connected to this device, but I will still need to toggle between S Pen and Z Fold mode if I want to switch between these 2 devices and use it with the S Pen Pro. So that's not much of an issue, and I will just have to remember to charge this S Pen Pro if I ever want to use Air Actions with the Galaxy Z Fold 3. And finally, the price of the S Pen Pro is at 499 ringgit. Well, if you're gonna get the S Pen Pro, I would presume you already know what this device is about and you already have more than one Galaxy device, like for example, tablet, phone, maybe a laptop, but they are not available here in Malaysia. So yeah, this pen does serve a purpose, but I think it is meant for a very niche market. And yeah, that's it. That's all we have to share with you about the S Pen Pro. Do leave your questions if you have any down in the comment section below. We'll try to answer them whenever we can, and we'll see you guys in the next video.